So for tonight then, I'm going to ask all of you to simply pick one of these on the list. So I'm going to pick I have to, I choose to. So you can pick any one of the 4. And what I'm going to ask you to do is say the first part of the sentence out loud and pretend, because I'm assuming we're all kind of individual on our own here watching this, but pretend you are conversing with someone you know. So for example, I have to. So make a mental list of the things that you have to do. So I'm going to give you 3 examples of what I have to do. So I have to coach someone who is resisting my assistance. I have to speak with a difficult client tomorrow. I have to manage the work of someone who is not pulling his weight. So I'm going to pause for a moment, and in the chat, let me just move this over a little bit so I can see my examples. So in the chat, I would love to hear if you have any current examples from these 4 on the list. Okay, we'll just give it a moment. Kyle, I choose to drink a beer. Awesome. I hope it's a delicious craft beer. Marty, I need to find new employment. Yep, we have all been through that one for sure. Any others? Janet, I'd like to explore the resistance of my new team to continuous improvement. I feel you. Okay, so now that we have a few examples here, Brian, I have to revisit prioritization necessity with POs. Yeah, that's a tough one. Okay, so now we're going to go back to all the sentences that you just said. And I want you to replace, so I chose I have to, I choose to, but we're going to replace, so let's see, yes, so for Karen, for example, I have to generate sprint summary metrics. We're now going to focus on the later part of that, and that's I choose to. So the later part of your sentence. So we're going to reorient how we speak. And so let me just start here. So yes, now go back to the sentence. Replace, I have to, for example, with I choose to, and recognize that you have the power to make a choice, even if it's in between 2 undesirable alternatives. So take time to feel how aware you are in your experience of saying each sentence that begins with like, I choose to, or I won't, or I want, or I'd like to, and add any sentence that comes to you next. So I'm going to give you some examples of what I'm talking about. Yeah, so Kyle, that's right, precisely. This is definitely a part of that fixed versus growth mindset. Good catch. So I choose to coach someone who is resisting my assistance and seek to understand the person better. I'll give you 2 more quick examples. I choose to speak with a difficult client tomorrow with a goal of finding a new solution. And finally, I choose to manage the work of someone who is not pulling his weight one time only and will communicate my challenge with him. Yeah. So you can see how it reorients the sentence and allows us to look at the challenge in a different light. Do any of you have any kind of examples of reorienting your I have to's to I choose to's. Feel free to write them in the chat as well. Yeah, I have to drink a beer. How would you reorient? I have to drink a beer. That's a funny one. Okay, so as we wait and see if there's any examples coming in, so what is the outcome of this exercise? Well, notice how the switch from like I have to I choose to becomes much more intention-based. My perspective reorients as I have a better understanding of what it is and is not in my power. And I have full responsibility now of my actions. Yeah, so let's see here. I have to drink a beer. I choose to drink a delicious craft beer. Good choice. I choose to generate sprint summary metrics. And finally, Janet, I choose to work with the team to discover continuous improvements they are interested in and have them experiment. I am noticing a trend with some of your examples. I feel like we've switched from something maybe kind of heavy to something, it's like a new, fresh perspective that I'm reading, and that's great. And Brian, let's read yours. I choose to revisit prioritization and understand PO reluctance when they understand it is their responsibility. Yes. So in your coaching, you can certainly, use this exercise with people, especially those who can sometimes be a bit more challenging or stubborn, and do this wordplay with them and see if it changes their perspective and their intention. And if you perform this exercise in a group, it's really at this point in time that you may want to take a few moments to debrief with them. Okay, there we go. So, Marty, I want to read yours as well. So I want to find new employment in an area that will satisfy me and not just pay the bills. Yes, it sounds like you're looking for a very fulfilling career. Okay, so when you do the debrief with your clients, you can ask them the following 3 questions. Did you feel that you had the ability to take control of your choices? What did you discover more in your choice? And did you find that you found more personal power and possibility? And then what do you recognize in the words of your partner to be true if they're partnered up, either online or in person?